Hey, fees.
Hey, how are you?
I joined completely not set up for for online conference call. So
That's okay.
nothing's going.
Not bad, not bad. Uh, things going okay in lab, and then I guess fourth is coming, so a bit relaxed. No meeting at all this week. There was one, but they canceled it. It was like nice.
There you go. You finally get a break.
Yeah. So
Um, well, I didn't know, how busy it might be today, and so if if there weren't too many people with questions, I figured I could follow up some things that we've talked about personally in this space,
yeah,
because we've been talking a lot about international students and some of the things they've been going through and visa issues, and especially getting students who left the country so that they can still be GAs or new students who can't come here now. Um, what's going on with that, and is there any more clarity for those students now?
unfortunately not this week, but this is the week of fourth, and by next week. So I'm not directly involved in any of those discussions because it's very technical, and I mean, I as a international student myself, I raise the questions or concerns, and I expect the some sort of justification or so I am a bit informed about uh, mm, what in which direction they're looking at and what they're trying, but there is no definite answer till now. But next week there will be. So I mean, the issue is this week is 4th of July week. People will take some days off, but by next week or the next or early the week after, I will be informed, or we will be informed with some like decisive answer, like what can be done and what, and I mean there will be something done. I that I have been told or assured. What I know till now is the situation is uh, almost similar in our peer institutes. Um, uh, Peers or aspiring peers, there's only few or handful. It's just 3 institutes that have decided or announced that they will do something, which some of them are kind of reckless, I would say. Some of them have like real options, like Purdue. And what they are doing is they have um, branches in some other countries where they can actually show that they're working there, but they are basically doing the work for the Purdue campus here, or like there are other mechanisms that they could figure out. And then there is Illinois and with Illinois and Michigan, I guess. I think, yeah, Michigan. So Illinois announced that they will go case by case. They will look at each student, and they are a big university, and so is uh, the other one that I just said, Michigan, I think, yeah. And they have a huge, I think it's Michigan or Wisconsin. One of them, I forgot. But one of those institutes, they have a huge grad school. They have like 40 staff members in the grad school, and they kind of figured some things out that they can do, like which countries can actually work from remotely without any issues with their government or the US government. I mean, basically, the US government doesn't have any issue in general or broadly. It's mostly the other countries. They have their labor law issues and whatnot. Taxing also is an issue, but just the labor law itself is, I mean, tax, you can pay it back later on. If you owe the country some tax, you can pay it back. So yeah, UConn also looked into the law. The most prominent one is the Chinese labor law, I guess, is because they are sheer majority of the GAs that work at UConn, and their law is very strict about Chinese nationals working for the US from China. They can actually go to jail. They that's what they figured out, the school, and they decided there's no way they can take that big of a risk to allow or hand over a contract. And then there is one university, Syracuse, I think, that they just announced they will allow it without any like mechanism. So I think that's reckless. It's just sheer. Maybe they don't even know how serious the matter is because no one else is announcing like a like in general that yeah anyone can work from abroad or remote. So
Well, maybe their approach is we will allow you, but any consequences that come from that, just they're on you.
yeah, I mean they can
I
very well
suppose.
make people sign those. I'm not sure, or I don't know that they will or what they're doing, but yeah, they people can do that. Put all the responsibilities to someone else. And yeah, so that's what I know. And but I talked to the provost today as well, and he's very hopeful that by next week or early the week after we'll have some not some news or something, some
Mm.
substantial things done. That yeah, these like there are departments like language department. They will be crippled if there's no like Spanish. They need I mean, Spanish maybe, or there are other countries who speak Spanish, but
Mhm.
language in general, if you don't get TAs or RAs even from those countries, yeah, you basically can't do anything. So
Yeah, I guess that was one of the things I was wondering was you can't check the law of every country, obviously, and that's what Dean Holsinger was saying. You know, so what about the countries that we know we have a lot of grad students from, or like you said, a department, like language departments, where it's like, okay, well, we know we have a lot of students from South America or Spain or wherever, and it's like, okay, can we check into those countries at least? Um, because it's very tough. So yeah, because I had the impression at one point that international students that their student visa or that they couldn't get paid through the university if they were not physically here in the US. I don't know where I got that impression from.
it is like for new students, if you never come here, then you do not have a social security and like you just do not have the permission to work, but you can still get paid if you go like there are projects everywhere like engineering projects or social projects you get reimbursed and I mean there are ways you get kind of paid also maybe not like really paid but you get uh, many people get per diem living costs and a lot of things so it's not all it's not the case all the time that you cannot so I think this issue is that you are not sent somewhere to work. It's just you are working as if you are in the US. You're teaching in the US, but you are not there. You're just in the other country. It's yeah, laws are always complicated. I can't imagine what the exact wording is, but I guess
So when you were talking about like Purdue and they have campuses, do you think that they partnered with like universities in other countries and basically, I don't know, created some sort of hybrid program or institute, or do you think they actually have like a presence there? Because they could.
some universities, the big pocket universities, they have campuses like physical campuses, not partnerships. I'm not sure about Purdue if they have which setup they are operating their operation in those countries. But uh,
Yeah, I don't know how much that, like you said, skirts the law. If it's like, oh, we're setting up a partnership, between these two institutions, but then it's essentially the same in practice as them just working remotely.
remotely,
You
yeah, no,
know,
I mean these I think they in these ways the law will be circumvented, but there's no timing. Like these things take months to reach to an MOU where you can build a partnership with the university, and like practically no one is interested in doing anything right now other than just planning for the next few months. Like not UConn, not any other universities. Every like just imagine that someone just proposing this idea of spending some money on this. Like we want to build a partnership with an institute. People will just go crazy. Like, are you kidding me?
another thing to deal with, right?
Yeah,
Yeah, that seemed the fact that it seems kind of like this real kind of perfect storm of problems that COVID has created for international
yeah,
students because, we all got CARES Act funding, people who qualified, international students were excluded from that. We have these visa and work issues that are going on at the same time, and I know in our department we have, unused, and we may have talked about this even in this context before, I don't know, unused GAN funds,
yeah,
and those can only be used by domestic students, and they're just sitting there
yeah.
unused, and it's um, it's like the resources. It's just reached this critical part for international students. But I guess that's true for any kind of crisis. It's the more marginal groups that people maybe are not considering as much. But with maybe with undergraduate students, international students are just a portion. But I mean, with graduate students, international students, I mean, do you think they're the majority? I mean, they're the majority in the School of Engineering. Um,
Maybe not majority, but a significant portion of it.
yeah,
Eh, International students, yeah, I understand that spending public money on international students is not the most lucrative thing to do. It makes sense. People pay taxes to get things for themselves, not so. That's why all those grants and things they don't apply to us, and we accept that when we come here. But this is such an extraordinary situation that everyone loses money and we got nothing. No tax, like stimulus check, no CARES
right.
Act, and yeah,
You would think even just for the students who are already here, because you guys didn't anticipate this. Maybe a student coming in next fall or the fall or spring, next semesters in 2021. They can say, all right, well, we know that countries are kind of focused. A lot of them are shut down. They're not letting people in. But students who are still here, you would think, okay, we, wanted these students to come here. The research that they do is important. I don't know what percentage, but I would guess most international students stay for at least a short time after they finish their graduate degree and work in the United States. So, as an important part of the people who live here, you would have thought, maybe a little bit more would have gone into that, but what can you do, right?
yeah, it's unfortunate that not only we like, are not getting any support from the state. I mean, it makes sense for me, but still, we're not getting any support. Not only that, but also we cannot go home. That's like if you like just imagine when you feel vulnerable, what do? You go home. If we go home, then we will lose our job and our degree and our all the effort that we put already into this degree, and yeah, that's the most unfortunate thing. And then it's not only travel restrictions due to the COVID. It's also all the proclamations and all the policy changes that are going on. It's,
Yeah. You don't know what it looks like next month, or
yeah,
you know.
no one knows,
Well,
not even the lawyers. Like everyone is in like, if you go to a lawyer, like, yeah, what are my options? They would probably now say, I don't know, maybe this and maybe that, whatever. Pay me, and let's hope that this option is here next month. That's
And I mean, the crazy thing is too, with the U.S. having so many cases now. I've talked to a few international students. There's some international students who can't go home because things are bad in their home country, and then there's other international students who can't go home because things are so bad
yeah,
here,
yeah,
and it is because the difference is it's so much different, um, that it's like no matter what the situation is in your home country, you're kind of stuck here. You know, do we have someone joined?
yeah, and then dropped. Probably didn't figure out that there will be other people. I don't know.
No, that's fine. And that was just one thing. Having talked with some students, that was on my mind this week, for sure. Especially as we celebrate July 4th, right? It's the America holiday. We got to remember everyone else is here.
Uh, well, I'm lucky. My lab mates and I mean, in one of my lab mates' place, we are celebrating, and we are lucky that we are here in Connecticut, not in those other unfortunate places where things are going really bad. So, I mean, for us, we go to our lab anyway. We navigate this time responsibly and hope for the best that we don't get infected. But there are other places where I think now it's inevitable that, like, the cases are getting so, I don't know, it's just exploding in some places.
Well, I mean, it's been wait and see since what, February, mid-March. I guess that it's just more of that.
Yeah, like everyone who proactively took measures. I mean, I'm not gonna criticize anyone, but I will obviously praise someone who did something. Like things were so bad in these places, here, California, Germany, Italy, Belgium. If you see Germany's curve, it's crazy. It's like unbelievable. It's like bam, gone. It's gone. I mean, they still expect. I mean, they're not celebrating a victory. They still
Right.
expect there will be a rise in the curve. But
Well, that's the right. That's the big question mark. I mean, I feel like we have an idea of what things will be like in September and October, maybe at this point, just with the way Connecticut's going. But spring and the end of fall semester, once winter comes, and who knows where in other parts of the country it's so much worse now, and you figure eventually it might come back to Connecticut even through one of those routes. And so it's like, what's going to happen in spring? You know, I
yeah,
keep getting emails for season tickets, and they keep getting more and more. I don't know. I don't want to. I guess I'll try to think of a better word for desperate, but that's the one that comes to mind right now. And you know,
no, it is. I mean, everyone is
like,
desperate. Yeah, I also heard that everyone is selling tickets for all the sports and everything. But I guess yeah, they are desperate. What can they do? I mean,
it looks like
even
Mohammed joined.
yeah,
Hi everyone, this is Muhammad. Can you hear me?
yes. How are you, Mohammed?
I'm good. How are you?
Good, good.
We were
Nice.
actually, Mohammed. We were just talking about international students and what's going on with that, because after talking with different international students this week, that was definitely a topic that was on my mind.
That's great.
What's going to be happening in the fall? What's going to happen with the new students?
Yeah, I mean, that's kind of uncertain stuff we're kind of um, afraid of. So what happened next fall? What happened next year? That's all like questions I think most international students ask now. Because that's, I think most for grad students, the only help they're getting from university, either from TA or RA, right?
Yeah.
And if that stops, that's a big problem, especially for people who has family with them.
Oh yeah, so for the students or the GAs who are here, I am confident that they will not see mm, any impact, I would say, and I'll try to make I'll try to see to that there's no impact on them, because how things are going is enrollment is not that bad. Enrollment is good now, undergrad enrollment. So TA demand is almost the same or pretty similar, and even if the demand goes down in some departments, there will be ways that the university will help with that the provost promised us. And so for the GAs who are here, I think fall is okay, and spring I think can be managed by the departments by if in due to COVID people can graduate, and uh, then that can be handled or managed by uh, reducing the intake of new students, because we already have grad students here and they will fulfill the demand of the GAs. So it's mostly the most concern now is who are either new grad students who were supposed to come or who left the country. That's I think where the most issue lies. And yeah, I mean departments will also get some funds reduced, but I think with enrollment and the tier demand, as it looks like, there will be not much of an issue with TA lines. With research, though, it really depends on the PIs. If they have money, then in most of the cases, it's the PIs who have the fund, not the departments. In some cases, it is, but mostly it's the PIs, so it depends on them if they have money.
Yeah, I mean, that's good to hear, actually. Kind of that's kind of encouraging things. And I did have a conversation with Dean Kazim about kind of the same problems. And he said, like, for now, I promise all GAs they're going to get fund for summer and fall. But I think kind of that is not the case. I do have a couple of friends who has no fund for summer at all, or they have very few hours, and they are not certain about fall.
So about fall, do you if you for summer it's a very critical issue, because summer is the fund is very it's not, it's never guaranteed, right? Like the GA ships are always for 9 months, and in summer every year whatever the PIs have, they check their budget, and whatever they have to spend from that to just support us. And mostly it's the PIs. The departments have no, I mean, in summer we can't be even paid as a GA. We are paid as a technical whatever special payroll as a
Right.
technician, because we that employment is a very different one than what the GA entitles. And as far as the contract, our hourly rate is the same, but the university goes through a very different process of paying more to the state to employ us, and it's a whole different thing. So that's never guaranteed. That is tough to like say if the loss of that funding was due to COVID, or was it just because this year the department had no fund. It's tough to say. But for fall, yeah, I think everyone. So yeah, the deadline for the fall contracts, they are generally 15th of June, but
It's already passed.
yeah, but the catch is if the university does not know which assignments will be there, then they can delay it. And at this point, the university really does not know how many courses will be offered. I am in the fall planning committee, and they are optimizing the courses because many faculty want to take a course on in person, and many do not. Like specific cases, they want to do it in person, and there's simply not enough classrooms to fit all those courses. So like they try to optimize it in general, and then now they are going case by case to individual faculty to see what can be done, and without knowing if that course will be offered or not, there's no like they can't give out GA ships. If so, the provost and the dean of grad school, they told me that they have told all the deans, the other like the actual deans, that they can go ahead and make or offer those contracts if they know that these courses will be offered. So many of us have got those. I mean, I got my contract right after that announcement. Or it's not an announcement, it's like a guidance or guideline or thing that the university will support them if something happens. They can go ahead. They don't need to hold on those contracts. And so I think many schools departments have rolled out those offers, but for some they just don't know which courses can be fit and if they can offer them. So I think next week is a very important week in terms of decisions. The planning committee might be able to figure all, at least for Stores campus, all the courses that are that these courses can be actually offered, and then it shouldn't be long after that to roll out all these offers. And in any case, uh, if after next week, when these offers are all, I mean, there are deadlines that the university has to make the offers as well to get the people paid in the first pay cycle. So that's another like a milestone. And if before that you have of people, Mohammed, that they are not they don't have contracts for fall, let me know. I will try to reach out to through the through the proper channel which one I think is better, to see why is the I mean why is the reason that they don't have those offers yet. But I
Okay.
think we need to wait for one more week. It's to see how many courses are actually like to actually let the university decide how many courses they will offer.
Yeah, I know two of them. They are still looking around for TA's opportunity for different departments, which means I think their PA has no money to offer for fall. I'm not sure yet if they get anything or not.
Oh yeah, I mean if
Check
it's
that out.
if those students, if they had research funding, uh, uh, like in general, then yeah, then they they will have to look for TAs if their PI has no fund. But I think after these decisions have been made, there will be a lot of TA lines that will need to be filled because many students will not be able to come to the US this year, um, or not choose to do it. I think after a week we will know better. And yeah, you can always connect them to me, and I will just keep updating them to see.
Okay. Yeah, we'll do that. See.
How how have you been doing?
Um, yeah, so busy. I was waiting for summer for little relax, but it seems summer is worse.
Yeah, I mean, I have been living in colder climate. I am from a very, very hot climate. I've been living in colder climates for 6 years now, and I tolerate the winter just for the summer. And then,
So, what you were living before
uh,
the
I,
hot weather is saying?
yes, I am from Bangladesh, so
Bangladesh, okay.
it's very hot and humid.
Yeah, I think my country is worse than yours.
Yeah, yeah.
Ours is like I think now is almost reaching 50s Celsius and also dry.
Yep.
It's not humid.
No, yeah. So this summer is, every
Yeah.
summer I travel a lot, or I just go outdoors. I mean, I'm still going outdoors, but no travel, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah. Thank you, Rob, for sharing all information last time. I did reach out to Ellen. That's the email you sent me, Ellen Lau, I think.
Yeah.
It was yesterday, and she didn't respond yet to me. I was checking my emails with the other lady. I think her name. I did not remember her name, and that was back in March. I think 15. I sent her all applications. I don't know if Navis has any background about my problem. I was talking with Rob about the I think that's they call it a social security or something like that, which we are not supposed to pay as international students.
Yeah.
But I did pay it last summer, and I'm paying it right now too, which is a lot of money.
So they're still
But-
deducting from your paycheck?
Yeah, and they did it last year, and they're doing it now too.
I know. I've gone through this problem. I tried to fix it looking a, by looking for a way to the issue is there are very few people who are actually impacted by this, because you have to be an international student, you have to actually work during the summer, and you have to, so anyone who stays in any capacity, who stays in the US for more than 5 years, they also have to pay it. So it's such a niche and such a small number of people that we decided just announcing to everyone, it will create more confusion than help. And so I tried to do whatever I could by like disseminating the information in social media and like just trying to point out. But yeah, they do it. They just don't. I don't know why, but sometimes, not for everyone though. There are some students who never paid the tax because I think whoever handles their documents, some of them know of this matter and some of them don't. I have told Ellen to let everyone know, but they still do it. I just don't understand how can they be so inefficient. I honestly don't know, and I've told them several times, called them out, that you are so inefficient that you cannot, like, there are, I don't know how many employees there. I would say I can just call all of them and like, hey, now it's summer, don't deduct taxes if you don't know that they are supposed to pay it. And it's very easy to, Rob, they even know who are TAs, who are RAs, like, and they even know which country I came from. Like, I'm from Bangladesh, but I arrived in the US from Sweden, so the tax treaty that I have with Bangladesh was not valid, and they even know that, and they even account for that. But they say they don't know if I'm an international. That's just I told her, like, hey, you even know that I came from Sweden, so you don't apply the tax treaty, but you're saying like you can't figure out that I'm international. And yeah, they said our system does not have this and that, and I tried talking to people to figure out a way to integrate this. I don't think they were interested in it as well, and they had any way to like simply do it. So yeah, unfortunately, the way is to just apply case by case. But the issue is not many know about that. So yeah, what I asked Ray Alexander to do is in the orientation, try to disseminate this information that if you are working in summer in any aspect here as a as in special payroll or in the dining service or in an internship, you do not have to pay for it. Even if you are doing OPT, you are still in an F1 visa, and you are not going to pay for that. But anyway, I will try again with Ray to for the
They
new
should
student.
have like kind of guidelines for like let's say international students what they have to pay and what they have not.
Yeah, the issue is the US law is so strict that, or so convoluted, not even convoluted, it's so separate that the international services, they do not want to, or they're not even qualified to guide people in tax related like services. The business school is, and they do that Vita thing, and in that Vita website they actually have it written that you do not have to pay. That's how I actually came to know. But not everyone goes there. It's like there are 40 seats in each session, and like they fill up like anything. And yeah, I will talk to Ray to maybe they don't have to take the responsibility, but they can point you out like for taxes go to Vita. And honestly, even then it's a lot of read. Like when you come here in fall or whenever, you're just not prepared to pay taxes. Like the taxes is in April. Who thinks about taxes at that point? And then it goes in the back of your mind, and I don't know how to. Yeah, maybe just reminding everyone of tax. ISSs do remind people like go to Vita, take help, but even sometimes they don't understand like or notice that this FICA tax has been deducted, and some of those are just sessions where they guide you. Some of those are sessions where you actually go there and they do your taxes. I do my own taxes, so I don't know how like in that process I've heard that there are some students like business school students who help them, and then there are supervisors who check those tax files that the students filed for the clients like us. I never did that, so I'll try to figure out a way to reach out to students with this information better. Yeah, it's just that money is for no good reason going to the it's a federal tax here, so it's going to the federal government. No one is benefiting from it. I mean, people are, but not us, because we are not eligible to take that benefit. So, I mean, internationals.
Yeah, I mean it's kind of a long process. I was explaining to Rob last time. I went to a tax specialist and she was pointing out to me. She says, you're not supposed to pay this money because you're an international student, and she knows about that.
Yeah.
So she did the application for me, and I was trying to submit it to get my money back. And then the university said, you don't need to do that. Just fill these applications. We're gonna get your money back.
Yeah.
And that was in March. And I just submitted the application. I never heard back from here. I sent 2 emails following up, saying what happened to my application, but I never heard back. So recently I checked with Alan yesterday to see if I'm getting any response from here or not.
Can you
I was
forward
trying.
me those emails? Because yeah, I've been hearing that people are submitting those and never heard back. So I will actually reach out to Ellen to
Yeah,
figure
I
out
mean,
why.
right. Let me see what gonna hear from Alan first. Probably I would kind of maybe share with you to see what is the next steps.
Yep. Because yeah, it has been. I mean, it takes a like couple of months maybe. Yeah. The issue is if the tax, let's say you figure out that they're deducting your taxes right now, like this for this summer, that's easy
Yeah.
to get back. That they can refund you like in days or in a week. But the other one for last year, it goes to the state comptroller and then it goes to the federal government, and yeah, it takes some time. But this March, that's too much. Like from March, this is June.
Right.
It's too long.
So I see you have I think they call it a reverse town hall meeting or something like that. So what are you discussing in that kind of meetings? Just was kind of curious to know about that.
So, Mohammed, I'm on the organizing committee for that. That was more of a grassroots organization, started by the people who, or committee, started up mostly by the people who had the grad student list of demands. So there are people from GSS and the union involved, the graduate employee union, but mostly it's kind of this loose, I guess random is a bad word, but people from different departments. And so basically it was made to be in response to what the university is doing with COVID and places where um, they think that the school could be doing better. A strong emphasis, at least at the beginning, was on allowing more graduate students a bigger voice in the governance of the university. We have seats on certain, and Nafees can comment more on this too. We have seats on certain committees, advisory committees, but we felt that um, either there wasn't enough people on those committees, that the committees weren't having a big enough impact, as just advisory committees, that they were coming up with plans for COVID response first, then presenting them to the committees instead of, kind of going around and asking people. And the distribution of the CARES Act, which you probably didn't care as much about because that money wasn't available for international students, but the distribution of the CARES Act, there was a lot of uh, criticism around that. So that was one of the examples. The first time that we tried to have a town hall, it actually got Zoom bombed by people who wrote anti-black, anti-Semitic things, imagery, whatever. So we had to end the meeting, and unfortunately, it was kind of traumatic for some of the people at the meeting, especially some of the attendees who were people of color. So we are having it again, and we are having it in a much more secure environment. We've been working with IT to do that. So the next town hall will focus on grad student issues, like I was talking about before, but it will also focus on some of the racial justice issues um, that have come up in the past month or two with killing of George Floyd and with our own um, racist, anti-black experience, incident with the first town hall. So generally, it's about grad students' concerns and kind of giving them a voice, a place to kind of air those concerns. But those were some of the specifics that I think are probably going to be covered in the town hall. And anyone can say we have testimonials. You can reach out. Anyone is allowed to talk. We're just going to set up most of that ahead of time this time, just to prevent any sort of attacks. Um, and I don't know how much we've been talking about international student support. So if you or Nafees have some, things that you want, even just the other grad students to know about, these are some things that international students are going through that COVID has made much harder, or racial justice, or any of those other things. Um, yeah, anyone should feel free to submit their thoughts on those things.
Yeah, nice topics. I like the ideas.
Hmm. It was based off UMass did one in March, I think, or April. UMass Amherst. So that's actually where the idea came from.
Great.
And Mohammed, you reach out to your friends if you have any questions, like specific questions. You can always shoot to me. Like I sent an email today. Uh, it was a apologetic email, I guess, because due to some technical issues, and we have so many of them at this university, and one of my goals is to try to fix as many as I can that actually impacts us. And due to one of those issues, there are some students who did not get emails from GSS, so they could not know what we were doing or what we can do for them. So, but I sent an email today. I think everyone should have got that. It's from the GSS President email, GSS President at
Yeah, I got it
ucom.edu.
today.
So there is the link from of this WebEx link, and there is a form, Google form. If anyone does not want to like tell their problems in a public space, which is recorded and uploaded, they can always just send me a question or request. And I mean, even if they don't want to tell it to me, like revealing who they are, they can always just shoot a question. Now get the answer and just read it here. So I will try my best to be available to reach out, and yeah, any questions or concerns you have, I'll try to address those in these sessions.
Yeah, I mean, I think most people is not kind of aware of things out there for help, especially for people who has no funds. As I said, with family stuff. So I'm part of JLLA, and I know a little bit about this resource from other members. I got like list from Rob last time. I'm just trying to share with them whatever resource I'm getting. But it will be kind of very helpful if the email from you or from someone else from university goes to them directly saying these are kind of list of the helps they can get.
Yeah, it's always tough to kind of summarize resources. The resources are targeted to so many like different needs, I would say. Like right now, I'm just trying with CETL to figure out a resource page where anything that a graduate TA would need will be there. Does not matter where the actual link is. Anything that TAs might need, there should be a hyperlink for that. And they should be able to go to that page, click there, get the help, done. So, any ideas on that part? I would ask your help. Financials, it's a bit tough to actually put all the resources. I mean, we tried like showing where the aids are, and those you can find in our emails and whatnot, but when it comes to actual funding, it really depends on PIs and departments on research, and then teaching is, yeah, the other part of it. So sometimes you really have to go to other departments to see if they have TA or opportunities. So I'm thinking on that part too. How can I summarize or kind of make a page for all financial resources for grad students? But then I just have not thought it through. Where would that page be? If it's in GSS webpage, how many people would see? If it's in grad school webpage, I don't know. That may be the best place to be. And they, I think, started something. I saw it. I just was busy with just fixing communication in general. So after before this semester starts, I will try to work with the grad school's page, whoever runs the page, to figure out what resources can actually go there, that people don't have to look for like hundreds of places, that they can go to one page, grad school page, where they can see that grad TAs, maybe it can just say if you're a TA, go to the CETL page. That also works. You keep going, but you don't get lost in a rabbit hole. You just like just a ladder. You go there and you go there. I'll try to figure something out in that way. Yeah, because I hear you, Mohammed, that you had to, like, there there's no way or no exact place where you get the information. You keep asking people, you get the answer. I mean, it's also good. It's a good community. People would help you,
Yeah.
but you need a place where you can actually look for it yourself. I'll try my best to figure something out on that.
So that's something I can try to bring up with the grad union too, Mohammed, is, adding it to a resource page or a post or something. Um, I did share some of those resources with some of the other union volunteers and with the fees. Um, but it's definitely something I will bring up. I don't have full control over any of the websites at UConn or anything, but I definitely would push people to at least share it and be aware of it. I know me and Nafis, once I found out about the whole FICA Social Security deduction from international students' paychecks, that was something that whenever I was talking to international students that I brought up because I was like, "Do you know about this crazy thing?" you know, because I was like, "This is something that we just kind of get out there," and I feel like if someone sees the word Social Security something in an email, they're immediately be like, "All right, whatever."
Yeah.
So someone in their lab comes up to them and they're like, "Hey, you might be owed like $800." I think like that definitely, maybe that's what we have to do. Like one of those late night TV commercials where it's like, "You could make $1,000." Maybe that's the kind of email we have to send out.
Right. Yeah, but it's a lot of money. I think I'm getting deducted about 300 like every paycheck just for
Oh,
three. Yeah, I think it's 3 or 200. I don't know exactly.
It
But it's
depends how
200
much
something.
how much you get paid on the summer, but for some people, because it depends on what kind of fund their PIs have. Some of them pay them right then, like in summer, because you can pay like 40 hours and whatnot, and
Right.
then pay less during the semester, so that adds up. And then you can actually lose a lot of money in this FICA tax for no good reason.
So why is that FICA tax is just in summer? Why it's not in the semester
So
job?
the issue is
Because
any
the ETA and
domestic,
J stuff?
no, any domestic students like Rob, he also is exempt from FICA tax when he's a student, when he's counted as a student. So what the payroll can differentiate is, in the summer, most grad students, they don't take any courses, so they have to actually pay the FICA tax, and the payroll in most cases can differentiate who is domestic and who is not, so they deduct from whoever they can. I would say, I'm not saying everyone, because I've known people who never paid it because the officer or whoever handled their taxes or their payroll, I think they were smart enough or they're aware enough to not deduct it, but the others were not, and then they just deducted it, I guess.
Hmm. Yeah, I just checking my pay stub. Yeah, I was wrong about 300. It's 200, about
Yeah, I
200.
mean, some people
Yeah.
can get 300. It depends on how much they get
Yeah.
paid. And you won't believe my experience when in the first paycheck. So I have lived in countries where I didn't even know the language. So I actually go through pages like these very important documents. And the first paycheck in my first summer, I was like, why is there a new tax in here? So I actually took the page, went to the payroll office, and whoever was in the front desk, they said, "Are you taking a course?" And I, not knowing anything about US tax laws that much, it was never paid taxes. I came in fall. I did pay taxes, but I didn't even pay Connecticut taxes, just some, I don't know, federal taxes, and it was easy. I never paid summer taxes or never earned anything in summer. So I told them, no, I'm not taking any courses this summer. I'm just working. She goes like, yeah, you have to pay the tax then. I was like, okay, because I am in the payroll office and they told me you have to. I came back, I was chilled, I kept losing money, and then there was this internet ISSS organized tax event, like the I mean, Vita does some stuff, but this session was only for internationals that ISS is organized or convened, and then there, the lady who's the manager of that Vita thing, Lena Adams, she was presenting, and she, in one slide, it said, international students with F1 visa, you do not need to pay it. I was like, are you kidding me? And then I didn't say anything to her at that presentation. I came back, I went to the Vita page, and I found out where it says that you do not have to pay it. And then I wrote that lady that you told me today, but it was on a presentation, so I'm not quite sure, but your website also says that we don't have to pay. Is it true? She said yes. And then I was mad at Pero, like, how can you lie? I mean, I consider it as like either super incompetence or a straight lie. I was there to ask a specific case, and they said, like, yeah, you have to pay it, and I kept paying. And then the lady, Lena Adams, she forwarded my email to Ellen Lowe, who's the director of payroll, and they then sent me the thingy, the form that you have to say that, yeah, my FICA. They even have a specific form because they know that is deducted wrongfully. That form is like, you put your employee number, and it says like wrongfully deducted whatever FICA tax, and you just tick like, yeah, I was my taxes were deducted in this year and that year. So they actually have a process to mitigate their mistake, but they can't figure out the way to like eliminate the mistake. It's just crazy.
Yeah.
You know what it makes me think of? The fees. It's too bad there's too many summer sessions, because they should just have like an automatic enrollment for international students in a 0 credit class, that somehow that's the thing that triggers, oh, they're taking a class. But there are 1, 2, 3, 4. There's 6 overlapping summer sessions. So it's like,
Yeah.
even that doesn't present a very easy.
No, I believe me, I have been trying. Like, I was the treasurer last year, and I was like, yeah, what can, like, there is no easy solution. It's just I don't understand why their database would not say that this guy is international, but it does not. I think it's just an old database, so that's what it is. So let's see how we can. Our job is to just be good friends of our grad community and just disseminate the information through whatever way we can. And I will keep talking to ISSS so they make it a habit of like that this is the thing. In ISS orientation, you have to say that, hey, check your summer taxes. As unfortunate as it sounds, I think that's the most workable solution I have right now. So, but anyway, guys, nice talking to you. I think I'll leave. And just tell your friends that if you have nothing to do, you can just chat with me.
Yeah,
I mean,
sure.
you're at home anyway, so yeah.
Okay. Thank you, everybody. Have a good weekend.
Yeah, you too, and have a good 4th of July.
You too.
Bye-bye.
Bye.